How's it going, guys? It's Choco the Chocobo, and I am back Dota 2 style, and I am very excited to be bringing this game back to the channel. It's been a very, very long time. The game has changed quite a bit.
This one
Well, let's get to it, shall we?
Not necessarily in my maybe slash the way I would like it to have changed, but definitely still a game that I still have a lot of fun with, and I'm really excited to bring back. This is not going to be a typical like really good gameplay for me. It's just kind of me having fun. Preston, Kenny, and myself were playing this morning. I thought, you know what? This was a decent game. Not too great, not too bad, just kind of all right. And I thought, might as well share this with you guys.
1 minute until 30 seconds
because I also
after
wanted
battle.
to ask you guys a question.
The question is,
And ignore the banter and my seriously scary threats that I made. But I do want to ask you guys, what would you guys like to see? I know a lot of people kind of gained a little bit of interest that people are like, oh, wait, you know, I've heard Preston plays Dota. I heard Kenny plays Dota. I heard Mitch, Rob, Vic, and Lachlan. I heard like lots of the people that I know from YouTube play Dota. So what would you guys like to see? That is my question to you guys on the video. Be sure to leave that in the comment section down below because I'm happy to do a huge variety of different things in Dota. If you guys want guides, to do that. If you guys would like to have just gameplays, like want me to go really hard in the paint kind of thing.
Okay, back to video games.
It's really, really up to you guys. So definitely do leave me comments down below. But for right now, I am planning to add some pretty good gameplays, like whenever I have a really good match or something like that. Or,
Once again,
I'm playing a different hero that's not techies usually. I'll go ahead and upload that maybe. But I do want to keep Dota in rotation. It's making a really big comeback. We're pausing a lot here because Kenny's in the bathroom and we're trying to delay for him. But yeah. We are
let this meditative reflection on the fleeting and fragile nature of life begin.
So, we're going to get this game started. Kenny's playing Enigma. Preston is playing Oracle. He really enjoys Oracle and just having a grand old time with it. I'm going to kind of give you like a what's going on kind of commentary today. So, if you guys just kind of are like, you know, I'm not really in the mood for that, you can go ahead and go about your day and business. Hopefully, we'll have you back another time. Let me know what you guys want to see out of Dota if you want to see Dota stuff. But we are up against the techies, PA and a Pudge, and then there's also the Omni and Drow kind of there. But we're not too worried about the Drow. The Omni is kind of a pain, but we're not too worried about it right away. So in our heads, and at least for me, I was thinking, you know what? I do really, really want to make sure that we don't drag this out to the late game, because if we get to the late game, we're gonna have some troubles. I also have continued to use my weird start. I know not a lot of people like doing this, but I like to start off with nothing and then get bottle. I gamble a little bit in that I usually try to get a bounty rune first. It'll help me out in terms of getting that quick early bottle.
Bottom is missing, according to Axe.
I just go ahead and farm away, and you'll notice that this game actually, my farm is terrible. It's really dreadful. But the reason is that we mostly gained our gold advantage by kills, assists, stuff like that. Not so much with the not so much with the farming and stuff, although I believe our Terrorblade goes pretty hard with farming. That's just because we give him a lot of room. This is more of a control-based game, and this is one of the things that I like Dota, and I thought this was kind of fitting because Dota, as opposed to League, Dota is definitely a very kill-centric game where hero kills do play a very large portion of the game. But the really interesting to me about Dota is that it's also about control. As long as you can give control,
the killing begins.
Team
First blood.
generally
Come
win.
on, got Zeus
So
on
right
the
now we're
chains.
behind. Pudge has killed our Axe. Our bottom lane is struggling a little bit because it's just a really tough lane. They have 3 people down there as opposed to 2, and it's up against a regular 2 composition.
Dire's bottom tower
So I'm
under
kind of just
fire.
running around. I'm just trying to keep on point with my levels. I am not really doing well by way of experience. I'm kind of getting poked back and controlled by the PA a little. But mainly, I just want to keep my levels and kind of my gold count not too bad.
Bottom is missing, according to Axe.
So I'm kind of, you know, popping along, having a little bit of fun. As for everyone else on the team, Preston and Kenny's farming in the jungle. He's just kind of doing his own thing. Preston is doing his best.
Middle is missing.
The bottom at this point, the bottom lane. And Terrorblade
Bottom
is
is
really
missing,
farm.
according to Axe.
So the Techies doesn't have much way to kind of brush him off farm in lane.
Radiant
level 6, and
structures
even
are
then, it's
fortified.
kinda iffy. So Terrorblade is just kind of having a good time farming. Right here, I got really spooked. She could have killed me potentially, but I kind of lucked out. Decided to go back because I knew that I couldn't get the top rune. And then I was like, I think there's 3 bots, so we could probably get that bot rune. I go in, I try to sneak ninja it, and I run away. This actually got really dicey. You can see the PA was right underneath me. You can't see it on the mini-map because she has a skill called Blur, which lets her fall off the mini-map whenever she's outside of a hero range. But just kind of plopping along. It is a pretty slow start of a game, if I do say so myself. Like, neither team is really intent on diving or doing anything crazy. So if they get a pick, they get a pick like they did on the Axe. If not, it's not too big of a deal. But this continues on for quite some time. Nothing really too crazy. And I do believe it's going on for a while. So let's see if we can just kind of plop that speed on up for a little bit here. This will eventually hit a point where, yeah, Terribly gets killed by Techie's Mines. Nothing unusual there. I get a little bit of harass in on the PA. And let's see here. Yeah, okay. So
Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
Preston's dead. We're now 0-3. And I go back. I just make an executive decision. I'm going to go back, get a full bottle, get a full
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
Pretty strong. Now, about here, some interesting
Bottom
things
is
happen.
missing, according to
So we're
Axe.
down 3 kills. And that is obviously just not what you want to have happen.
More death.
But right here, PA goes to take the rune. Oops-a-doodles. And then I decide to make a play here. I look around. I know that in bottom, everyone's pretty much accounted for. So I drop my WQ immediately and then ult. This just gives me tons and tons of damage. She's trying to pop bottle, getting back health. But she can't keep up with Zeus with the auto attack. This is one of the things that most people don't think about whenever you're playing Dota for the first time. Even if you're not necessarily a hard hitter by default, don't ever underestimate the idea of your right click, your auto attack.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
Contribution in the fight, because if I didn't auto attack right there, that could have gone either way. If she got a little bit luckier with the crits, that could have gone south really fast. So kind of to replay that scene again. Invisibility. It does happen pretty quickly if you guys aren't familiar with the game. Here I am. I right click on her, so my guy is just on point. Drop the W right there, so I can get that damage in. And then she's popping bottle this whole time. She blinks in on me, trying to get that quick damage, and then bam, I hit her with another Q, and then drop her with an auto. All you need, very, very handy to get the auto into rotational damage. Very, very useful.
If you were me,
so that is a quick little tip from this
still
episode,
be alive.
which a lot of people, they do forget.
Radiant's middle
even, like,
tower
really good
is
players,
taking
sometimes
damage.
Get very like tunnel vision. Like, I'm not going to right click. I'm just going to straight on only do skills and stuff like that, because that's what I mostly should be doing. Also, you'll notice that I am very like, I kind of picked this up from when I used to play StarCraft. My APM is actually, if you guys know what APM is, it's like how often you click and you send commands and stuff. But my APM is actually considered to be pretty low. In Dota, it might be a little bit on the higher side.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
Involved, I guess. In StarCraft, I was really like, oh, whatever it is. I never really bothered trying to play it all that competitively after a point. But my APM is a little bit high. To do that can actually be bad, but for the way that I do it, it's perfectly fine.
Let's get intimate.
Kidnapped right here. At this point,
A
I'm able to
dominant
kill
performance.
along with Preston, who managed to get a pick on bottom. Her axe is just falling further and further behind. Our Terrorblade is actually doing pretty well. And here's another thing that is kind of neato. Even though we're losing the kill-death game, we're leading right here. And the reasoning for that is that just in terms of sheer gold earned and our net worth, we haven't lost that much gold from deaths, which is huge. But more importantly, the person that has a decent amount of gold for our team,
Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
Is Terrorblade. You know, he's been farming up here against the tech. I'm going to ult reveal him, and then he's going to get the kill right there. That gold lead is huge. The PA, I'm right neck and neck with her. She has a little bit on me, but I'm able to kind of stay right next to her. And Kenny is actually also able to farm the jungle efficiently. That is a huge, huge deal. Also, in terms of experience per minute, I'm leading the PA, and the actually the Terrorblade is leading by a whole bunch, and that's going to create a
Radiant's
really
middle
bad
tower is being attacked.
You have to remember that Dota as a game is a game that's dictated by control as well as kind of your lane push.
Radiant's top tower is being
and
attacked.
your individual performance is
Radiant
going to be dictated by
structures
the
are
gold
fortified.
and experience that you have earned. something that not a lot of people remember all the time. So right here, if you look at it, you can tell Omni Knight is starving. Preston on our team is actually starving for experience, which is actually not that bad because Preston's kind of like a support position. Ideally, we would like for him to be a little bit higher, but he is supporting in a tri-lane situation. There's 3 people now supporting against 3 different people in the bottom. So that is happening, but we want to make sure that the levels and the gold advantage on our carries, the people who are supposed to really hold most of the weight in terms of damage and generally like contribution, we want our Terrorblade, our carry, to have most of that net worth. We want him to have most of that gold earned, the XP earned, and he's doing just that. So he's on point. You can tell this number right here, those top numbers are how many creeps they've killed. The
Radiant's
bottom one is
top tower is under
so Preston is
siege.
doing a phenomenal
Radiant
job of
has
denying
lost their top
stuff,
tower.
but not really getting much by last hits because that's going straight to, I believe he's giving it to, who is he giving it to? I guess he'd be giving it to
Radiant's top tower is being
anyways,
attacked.
right there we have a really weird engagement. Preston drops the drow, I drop the pudge, and Phantom Assassin kills me right afterwards. Kenny cleans up the Omni Knight, and we end up trading very favorably. Even though I died, it's still 1 death for 3. And you can see kind of on the gold chart, that's going to get steeper and steeper. Experience-wise, steeper and steeper. And that is really the name of the game for your individual performance. And we're trying to end this game early, like fairly early, not super early, but we're trying to end this fairly early. So we are going to go ahead and press that advantage for as much as we can. Anyways, for the rest of the game, nothing really too crazy at this point. We've caught up on the kill death.
Radiant's
so
bottom
we're not
tower
doing
under
too bad.
fire.
Zeus does have the ability to cast his thunder. which
Radiant's
deals
bottom
physical
tower
things.
is being attacked.
So for me, I can
Radiant's
reveal
middle
Kenny's
tower
lines,
has
I can
fallen.
reveal wards, so I'm a really strong counter for Kenny's. Everyone is doing pretty well in terms of their experience in gold. So we're doing just fine. Gold per minute. So
Radiant's
right
bottom
there.
tower is being
PA
attacked.
Is not really
Radiant's
able to break
bottom
away.
tower has
Kenny
fallen.
and Kenny and myself were kind of hanging right by her. Terrorblade is just absolutely crushing because no one is denying him farm. And this is something that a lot of people who in game don't have really good map awareness here right here.
Dire's bottom tower is being
forget.
attacked.
God's wrath.
A lane open, that's a lane where they're not being contested for experience or gold. They will jump up in terms of experience. Right there on the Skype call, we were freaking out because I was like, there are mines. I'm telling you right now, there are mines, and he just didn't care.
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
Also, be sure to let me know if you also
Radiant's
just want,
top
like,
tower is
regular
being
gameplays,
attacked.
like Let's Play versions of it, where it's just live gameplay and commentary, because we have pretty hilarious banter sometimes. I do think I'll take it a little bit more seriously in general if I'm recording, but sometimes we have pretty good banter. And this morning we were being silly. But anyways, we're gonna keep on plopping along, kind of playing. And right here, let's take a pause because we're a little over the halfway mark. At this point, we're gonna do a kind of a breakdown for items and stuff like that, I suppose. So PA is working towards a Battle Fury, has Orb of Venom, but has nothing much, like nothing that really stands out as, wow, she is really ahead. More importantly, she doesn't have a BKB, which means that Kenny is going to be able to pop his skills on her. Oracle, Preston is going to be able to pop all his skills on her. I'm going to be able to do all my stuff. Axe's taunt actually is going to go ahead and be able to pierce that spell media anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But it is definitely nice to be able to have that battle hunger up on her for the movement speed, stuff like that. And Terrorblade, of course, not really magical, so it doesn't really help. But the BKB not being there definitely does hurt her because Kenny's stun, my damage, and Preston's damage is pretty rough for a person that isn't bulky, and especially against spells. So that definitely does hurt her. The Drow is just miles behind. She rushed to Yasha, and it didn't pay off. She made a gamble. It's not working. So she's just miles and miles behind everyone else. You can tell she's level 9 behind everyone, and she's right there in the lower half of the pack, which is not what you want to see on someone that's considered to be a carry. You also are going to have this Techies. The Techies actually is not doing too badly, but not great either. You can tell he's starved for farm, which is a little bit strange. But, he's kind of hanging out doing his thing. He's getting wards to the team. He's trying to do his part in supporting. But, he's actually kind of where you would expect him to be. But his team right then needed him to kind of step up and do a little bit more damage and stuff like that. So he is behind. He does look like he's rushing a Yules, so that is his end game goal. But well, not end game, but his kind of immediate goal for now. So he is behind as well. Omni Knight, same story. They're trying to support as best they can. Unfortunately, it's not really panning out for their 2 carries. And then Pudge, who rushed a Blink Dagger, which would normally be pretty good. He is definitely the best player on their team in terms of being able to kill and do damage there. But unfortunately, with 6 CS, 6 kills is great. But whenever you're literally dozens of kills behind, it's not really going to help you all that much to have that score right there. So he only managed to get a Blink Dagger. He's going to be starved, and he's actually going to be taking a lot of damage from his own rot, which is something that a lot of people take for granted. So he is unfortunately really far behind. Preston, Soul Ring, stuff like that. Actually, you know what? Let's play this and we'll just play on regular speed because I don't think anything interesting happens for a while.
Dire's top tower is being attacked.
Let's see if I can do it this way. So Preston's going to go ahead and have his items right here. Just kind of having lots of mana, making sure he can cast spells, stuff like that. Surprisingly, not a lot of W. He loves his W. But he's not. He's kind of holding his own. He's kind of where you'd expect him to be as a support player who is playing like the traditional support, or what's traditional now. Kenny, same dealy. He actually is a little bit further along. He's working towards his mech. He has his blink. He has been farming the jungle really, really well, so he's doing great in that regard, and built up just as you would hope him to. I'm kind of doing my own thing, ready to get my Ags pretty close to it. About where I would expect to be for Zeus. Now, maybe a little bit slower than I would hope if I was doing well. But, doing fine. Axe is miles behind. This guy had no idea what he was doing, to be perfectly honest. But he tried. He stuck in there. He didn't kind of go crazy and lose it completely. 0-5, not you'd want to see, but at the same time, he didn't end up hurting us too much.
Dire's middle tower taking damage.
This fight right here is a silly. This Pudge picked a fight that he
Denied.
had a chance to win. But Terrorblade is, of course, the one that I think is doing absolutely phenomenally. This guy right here, he has a Manta, which is a very, very expensive, high kind of bang for the buck kind of item. He is doing very well for himself, and he is light years ahead of anyone else in the game at this point. I just
Give the
dropped these guys down
omniscience
here.
my
Let's see if I can
regards.
backtrack the camera. Sorry that I'm not really doing a good job of kind
Radiant's
of
top
capping,
tower is under siege.
what's happening, but I'm trying
Radiant sure
to
are
kind of explain more of a tutorial almost in terms of like strategy and tactics and what's happening here. But we're getting easy
Quite a
picks.
spree.
You guys are not very organized.
And
Nothing really to write home
give
about
the
there.
omniscience my regard.
But this kind of grouping and pressing of people, if you guys are coming from League of Legends,
Radiant's
one thing
top
that you
tower
have
is
to
being attacked.
keep in mind, which is
Radiant have
if you are
fortified their
coming
towers.
from League, when you die, you don't lose gold. In Dota, when you die, you lose unreliable gold.
Radiant's
so if I
top
hover
tower
over
has
here,
fallen.
You can see I have reliable gold of, or Preston has a reliable gold of 838, unreliable of 543.
Radiant's bottom tower under fire.
Reliable gold comes from objectives, towers, stuff like that, as well as player kills. But unreliable gold
Radiant's
comes from
bottom
farming.
tower
so
is
if you
being
are
attacked.
farming and you're trying to get that gold advantage up, or if you've been starved and you're not getting anything at all, to die is really brutal. You lose part of that gold every
Radiant's
time you
bottom
die, which is
tower
really
under
rough.
fire.
So definitely something that most players need to keep in
No
mind. making that
sorceries
transition,
avail.
Is that if you do end up dying, you know, it's pretty rough. It's pretty bad. Oh, and right here, this is where communication is really important. Preston and I have a really bad miscommunication here. So he ulted me, which is great. So I'm currently not able to be killed. I turn on this PA. I drop some damage. Let me see if I can show you my perspective. So here we are. I get hit because they have a sentry down.
Boy, fresh
And
mate.
Preston drops this skill on the PA. So let me just freeze that right there. And it's not that Preston, like, you know, was, you know, trying to screw me over or anything like that. But right here, we have a pretty good advantage. She's at 340 health. He's going to pop his heal on her, fine dandy. And he could repel her, which I think he is about to do. But right here, that's an
Fear
opportunity
not
where we could
heresy.
probably go ahead and do tons and tons of
Killing
damage.
spree.
Unthinkable.
But unfortunately,
Radiant's middle tower is being
oh, wait,
attacked.
actually, I think we overshot it. Huh, lol. So like that doesn't make any sense. All right, so let me see here. So we're all running away. She's repelled. He popped it. Yeah, she's repelled. He popped it, so that's going to be on cooldown for a while. She blinks in. Now that repel is really low level, so that's going to run out fairly soon. Preston ults me. Let me just whoop. I'm still getting used to this particular interface. All right, so right here, the repel is off. In the ideal world at this point, whenever Preston pops his W, she becomes magic immune. So right now, no matter what I do, I can't damage her. With the current skills we have, we could probably have done quite a bit of damage, or at least been able to get some version of work done, because between his 360, my ult damage, which is going to be 540 right there, that's going to start really hurting her. And then Kenny also has his blink ult. If we had played this better, we could have kind of wrecked them all and moved on our merry way. But unfortunately, that's not what happened there, as you guys saw. But that's okay.
Time to
I guess Kenny got hooked. I actually never knew they got hooked. Huh, I never knew that. All right. So anyways.
Boy, fresh mate!
She goes. The ult wears off. I'm in a terrible, terrible place. I could have popped ult right there. Just that one split second. But I did not.
Quite a spree.
I don't think I would have killed her, actually. But
Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
But Kenny ends up dying. We all fail. This is a communication fail on our parts. Probably more my fault than anything else. But that is that. So we do die there. That actually hurts us quite a bit. You can probably see that little, yeah, it starts going from super steep kind of to normal steepness. Just like a little bit of unfavorable. Yep, there, right that. Like that. You can see that we get a ton of swing there. And that's one thing that's a little bit hard to figure out when you're starting to learn the game, is whenever you die, how much advantage did you just give up, all that stuff. Because a lot of our higher levels died right there, we end up taking quite a severe hit in terms of experience gain. Because none of us are gaining experience. They all gained experience at that point, so it was pretty rough. But as we continue on through the game, nothing really crazy happening.
Access middle is missing.
It's pretty calm from here on out. The Terror Blade farming like crazy still, leading that gold per minute. And then you have me just kind of wandering about, doing my own thing, kind of just plopping along. And we're gonna start eventually getting to the point where we think to ourselves, hey, you know, we should probably start getting ready to end the match. So we gather together. You can see we kind of are starting to congregate, with the exception of Terror Blade, who's still farming, which is fine. But the rest of us are kind of like splitting off into pairs again, farming whatever else. But then let's go ahead and skip a while because this gets really pretty boring. We have this weird like invade thing going on. So they're smoked right now, right? So they're not going to be shown on our wards, stuff like that. But when players get close by, we can see them. This axe goes the completely wrong way. I spot this drow. The rest of them are still, I believe, smoked, or at least about to be. I drop tons of damage onto her. At this point, I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to pop my ult just yet. We have a couple of things going on here. So, axe blinks in. That's going to be happening. We have this fight over here where Terrorblade's fighting.
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
I'm too nervous about it.
All victims will break.
Now Terrorblade turns
dominating.
Around, sunders, swaps the health there.
I'm your god
At this point, I died, but the Drow Ranger went down in order to get me killed.
My losses.
This axe is trying to say his best on Phantom Assassin. He's fighting. He's going to take out both because there's no way that he can really fight. He should have popped him earlier, but he didn't do it right. So that's going to be happening. And, you know, Techie's just hanging out. He can't really do much, unfortunately. And Preston's going to come in, give a little bit of help to this Terrorblade, who's trying to seal the deal, of course, on this Omni Knight. And he's going to be able to do just that with that root.
Twice the murder.
And bam, done. And with that one
Radiant's bottom tower under fire. Radiant's bottom tower is demolished.
That spikes again, and we are well on our way to kind of just carrying our way through the match.
Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
At this point, not really much the enemy team is going to be doing to us to kind of throw off our momentum, things like that. I'm breaking Techie's minds and stuff like that. I think we actually will fail here in a moment, but we're just kind of zipping around, kind of not worrying about too much. We have all of our towers up as well. One thing to notice is that we have all of our towers still online operational. I got hooked right there, but it didn't really come to anything. So right here, I messed up. There are a whole bunch of mines.
Keep murdering. Double kill.
I instantly die to those mines, which is not what you want to have happen, which is my fault.
Dire's bottom tower is being attacked. Unacceptable. Dire's bottom tower under fire. Dire's top tower is under. Dire's top tower has
our Terrorblade is so far ahead. It's so crazily farmed
There was no profit in lecturing that dullard on the finer points of theosophy.
We're kind of gathering up.
Come and get it!
And we catch the Pudge, and that's going to do tons of terrible damage. He goes down.
Dire's top tower is being
We're going
attacked.
to kind of go ahead, try to chase out of this drought, which is
Radiant's structures are fought. Radiant's middle tower is taking damage. No more middle tower for Radiant.
There we go. We're going to start gathering. Axe is really far behind because he has to heal and stuff, so I'm kind of like what's going on here. You catch the drought.
Spree.
It's just kind of in the wrong place, wrong time situation. Let's spot a ward. Drop that ward down after several misses. There's that double
damage!
And then we run straight to Rosh. Here, we check for the wards, do all that stuff.
The Dire's structures are fortified.
Terribly wants to go farm again. We're like, okay, fine, whatever you do what you want. I'm working towards a
fresh meat
now.
What kind of
There's all kinds of nonsense.
A dominant performance.
See what happens. This is actually a pretty big fight. So right here, I'm kind of minding my own business, getting my perseverance and stuff ready to go. I got the Void Stone. Meanwhile, these guys right here,
fresh meat!
They're all getting into a nasty fight.
Army.
The axe instantly dies basically. But this Terrorblade is just literally miles ahead. This guy is going to be almost impossible to kill for them. And Kenny comes in and drops a Q. This actually helps a lot, surprisingly.
A dominant performance.
Quite a bit. And can mess around with it. But this Terrorblade murders the Omni Knight. Kenny comes in, ults the PA, she has no way to get out of it. And then without the Omni, without the PA, without the Pudge, we just continue kind of flopping along.
More death, make that two.
At this point, it's pretty much over. You might be able to have like a little bit of comeback, but it'd be extremely hard. They all went down. Our Terrorblade has Aegis as well, so he's not going to die yet. So even if he gets killed, he gets revived, and that's all fine and dandy. But from this point onward, it's just more or less.
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
There's not much they can do here.
Radiant's bottom tower is demolished.
Kind of like, can we do a last stand kind of thing? Techie's is throwing his mine. He's throwing everything but the kitchen sink. But unfortunately, it's not going to be enough to deter us, really. We're doing tons and tons of damage at this point. Our Terrorblade is loaded. He has Manta, he has Scotty, which is a really, really expensive item. It's one of the top tier items in the game. They're going to kind of Yules, do whatever they can, get Kenny out of the equation, but unfortunately
Radiant's bottom barracks has
even
fallen.
if that Pudge hook had landed, there's not much they can do.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack. Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Racks on bottom. The Omni Knight got caught out again.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
Preston actually got into a pretty dicey situation there, but he ults himself and he's fine. But with all the work that they
Radiant's
have to try
top tower is
burn
being
the
attacked
Aegis alone, they take tons of damage. A little bit too much for them.
Let's get
Radiant's top tower is under siege.
We're just going to start rotating.
Radiant's middle tower has dominating.
A couple kills here and there.
Radiant's middle barracks innocent lives taken. Radiant's top tower is full. Radiant's top barracks has fallen. Radiant's top dominating. Radiant's middle tower is taking damage. No more middle tower.
And with that,
Radiant's
we
middle
end
tower is
the
being
first comeback
attacked.
episode. I know the commentary was really scattered. It wasn't
No
really
more middle
pre-planned, stuff
tower
like
for
that.
Radiant.
It really was mostly just to kind of say at the beginning thing. I was really curious to know what you guys would like to see from the Dota series. But that's a little bit of the insight about how I'm thinking through the match.
Radiant's ancient
like that.
taking enemy
A little
fire.
sampler, I guess, to kind of see what that commentary
Whole lot
would
of
be
murder
like.
going on
It'd be a
here.
little bit more
The
organized,
Dota
obviously,
win.
'cause I know exactly what points
Truly
they take.
today we have video
Definitely something that I
games.
can do for you guys. Change up Let's Play, stuff like that. You want strategies, actually hardcore, things like that. I can do that as well. So let me know. I would love to know what you guys want to see out of Dota. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, I will see you guys later. I don't know why. I kind of want to make that a new ending phrase. Until next time, this is Choco the Chocobo. See you later, stuff like that. But I'm not sure. Let me know how you guys feel about that. But anyways, talk to you guys later. Ciao for now.